Have you ever heard of Easter eggs in movies, especially those of Disney and Pixar? Today we will be explaining this phenomenon in depth by introducing you to the Pixar theory. This suggests that all Pixar films are related and follow each other down a chronological timeline.
Hello, I'm Emily Steller.
And I'm Octavia Claudio.
And welcome back to Thumpintheories. This is our last Thumpintheories episode.
Know!
Guys, thank you so much. Please subscribe.
Our 4 views on our very first
I just
one.
downloaded Cash App today, so please Cash App me.
Did you really?
Yeah. It's my White Rock rewards.
Oh, yeah!
Guys, go to White Rock and use your card. You'll get rewards. I had to download, but you have to download Cash App if you want the rewards. So, yeah.
Wait, I have Cash App. I'll get the rewards.
Because you don't use your card.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay.
We have been reviewing crazy fan theories as true or false, so you don't have to. And here's a big hurrah to one last one.
Yeah.
Maybe in the future we'll.
Yeah.
Do you think we will?
I don't know. A few people have went up to me and they're like, I need the rest. They're
getting all
Yeah.
one day. Okay. Like we assume many of you have, Octavia and I have seen plenty of Pixar films. I mean, I feel like Pixar played a pretty decent role in most of our childhood.
Yeah. So, by the end of this podcast, we hope that you too will be able to give your own opinion on the Pixar theory and come up with your own input and conclusions on it.
So, for some background, John Negroni's Pixar theory started with the film Brave, in which he deems to be sort of the origin of all Pixar films. From there, we will discuss the connection between some of the most prominent Pixar films and explain which timelines they represent, including the films which represent, or are supposed to represent in the Pixar theory, the early 20th century and modern day, as well as those which are meant to represent the future. Like I mentioned previously, the Pixar theory begins with an origin story which resides in the film Brave. A crucial part of the Pixar theory is that Brave, the movie Brave, which I think that came out around 2013.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know, it's set in like the 10th century, I think, and it's about. Is it set in
It has
I want to say it's set in Scotland or Ireland.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sound so.
No, that's so
uncultured.
right because literally they all have.
You're gonna say something so offensive.
Yeah, I'm not saying it anymore. I'm not saying it anymore.
I feel like it's set in Ireland or Scotland, but
I'm not getting myself canceled or else I'd back that up.
I haven't seen it in a while. But basically, there's Merida, which is the main character,
Yep.
and I think she's supposed to be like a teenager.
Yeah.
And she has these aspirations and goals for her life that she wants to pursue, especially archery, even though she's not. That's kind of frowned upon for her to be doing that.
Because she's a girl.
Yeah, she's a baddie girl, and nobody wants that for her, but she knows that she is a baddie girl, and she's going to get baddie girl stuff done.
Exactly.
But her parents don't want that for her.
Yeah.
So she sets off on her own journey to get away from these toxic people in her life that are telling her that she can't do these things.
Yeah.
So anyways, the movie introduces the use of magic to personify animals or sometimes objects. This phenomenon is seen within the movie when inanimate objects... Oh, he made it home. Oh, sorry guys. That was unrelated. Sorry, didn't pay attention to that. When inanimate objects are brought to life in the witch's cottage. Brave is referred to as the beginning of the Pixar theory, and it would make sense considering that a majority of Pixar films include the personification of animals or objects. I completely agree with this. This is so smart.
No, me too. I literally love this freaking theory.
Because it's like, how is this even a theory? It's just facts.
Yeah.
Like, if you just line everything up, like, there's no way that all the Pixar theories or Pixar movies are not connected or not supposed to be connected.
No, and it's lined up so perfectly too.
I know.
Like everything makes so much sense.
John Negroni really, he ate.
No, he did. He ate it all up. Because if you ever watch Brave, you know that she gets all this magic from... Wait, is it stones or is it from the... I know it's in a forest.
I don't remember. The last time I saw Brave, I was like 7 years old. So
okay, well, it's some sort of forest, and she
got that Disney magic.
Yeah, and the witch, which we'll discuss later. Oh, don't mind if I do.
I'm not open yet. Why am I not open?
Oh. Okay, well, this witch just makes up the magic.
Mm-hmm. She got the magic in her.
Yeah, she does. She got the magic in me.
And later, I think later at least,
yeah,
we will be discussing how Boo from Monsters Inc. is potentially that witch.
She is just the whole center of this whole entire thing, so just stay tuned.
So now that we have discussed how the Pixar theory begins with Brave, let's discuss the timeline of the Pixar theory.
So,
So the Pixar theory centers around a general timeline of events which happened before the 20th century, like Brave, events which happened during the first and second half of the 20th century, and events which occur in the future. I also want to reiterate that when I say first and second half of the 20th century, I also want to add on to that there's kind of things about the 2000s, but it's like early 2000s.
Yeah.
It kind of jumps from modern day where we are at right now, early 2000s, to like really in the future. Okay. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I'm confused on what you mean by that.
So, I'll give a brief overview of kind of the specifics of the timeline, like what films are involved in it. So, in the beginning, there's like The Good Dinosaur and Brave. That's like before. That's like this is before.
You're talking about when they were created, or are you talking about like how they would be applied to?
How they're applied to the Pixar theory. Like what, according to the Pixar theory, these films are supposed to take place in these times.
Oh, so like the dinosaur one and the Brave would be like far ago.
Far away ago. A long time ago. And then like present day is like Toy Story and like WALL-E is kind of more toward the future, but it's still kind of like present day. And then future, or also present day, but like early 20th century, halfway through the 20th century would be like The Incredibles set in like the 1960s. And then the future is what was the big future one?
I think WALL-E was one of them that played, and the Monsters Inc. And the Ant movie, the Bugs Life are supposed to be in the future. I feel like there's a different one, but I don't know. So, to begin, let's discuss what Pixar movie is often used to represent the beginning of the 20th century, since we kind of already went through Brave, which kind of sets the beginning of the timeline, so I won't get into that, but this movie is The Incredibles. Within the Pixar theory, The Incredibles takes place around the 1960s, which I understand isn't, like, technically modern day, but it's closer to now than the other timelines. It's supposed to represent modern day.
Yeah, kind of. So, The Incredibles takes place around the 1960s, and this movie is a crucial aspect of the theory, because this movie is supposed to be the introduction of the major utilization of advanced and innovative techniques.
Yeah.
So, like, in the Pixar theory, during the 1960s is like the boom of like science and technology. So this theme can be seen within these kind of superhero movies, which are often seen as mid-century events within the Pixar timeline.
So they're basically saying that like the magic that Brave discovered carried on to the generation after, so more people utilize it now, I guess. Superheroes.
Well, okay, the main magic in Brave correlates more, kind of comes full circle at the end, because the magic introduced in Brave is supposed to, it's concerning the personification of things that are not human.
Yeah.
Which ends up overtaking in the end. So this is kind of like a gradualization. Is that even a word?
No.
A gradient. I'm stupid.
Just gradual overtake.
Yeah, of non-human things dominating their own world.
Yeah. So, like, humans are the ones that are using it for now.
Yes. Yeah.
And then it says on PixarTheory.com, it says that, like, from the jump to... I don't know if you're going to talk about this.
That's okay, go ahead.
The jump from the humans to, like, actual inanimate objects... is from a superhero named Omnidroid in The Incredibles. I've never heard that name in my life.
I haven't either. I guess we're not true fans.
Yeah. And he just uses high-tech zero-point energy, which supposedly is electromagnetic energy that exists in a vacuum. And this is the pivotal moment where we see machines eradicating their only threat. So
I guess that kind of makes sense.
This is where inanimate objects supposedly get that. So
I guess the Pixar theory has kind of a shift from regular human standpoint, and then machines over humans, and then completely animals, inanimate objects over humans.
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, in this podcast today, I'm not going to say, is this Thumpin' Theories verified? Because our whole episode is over one thing, so we're not there yet. But
Yeah.
do we think that so far it makes sense?
100%.
Yeah, okay. I agree. So which Pixar films take place in modern day? Or at least close to modern day, like, within a few decades?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Toy Story franchise and the fictional corporation, by and large, which by and large is seen in WALL-E, and we'll get to that later. It's a little bit confusing, but I'll get to it. Are often used to represent the second half of the 20th century and the 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
Toy Story is going to be the main hit on this idea. So, Toy Story initiates the transition from all human characters to completely non-human characters. And it's not the complete shift yet, it's just the transition, because there are still humans in Toy Story, but they are not the main focus.
Yeah.
So that's a huge... Toy Story plays such a role in the Pixar theory, because...
And that freaking corporation, oh my god.
If you know about that, you can talk about it. Because I don't know if I know as much as you do.
We're not mentioning yet in just Toy Story. That's just basically the corporation that makes like Buzz and most of the toys and the energy source for those toys.
By and large,
yeah,
was like the fictional business that produced the toys in Toy Story.
No, not I don't think the toys themselves. I think they're energy sources like batteries, electronical toys, just things like that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, have you seen Buzz's like battery pack?
Yeah.
And like on the batteries.
Girl, don't even. I was a Toy Story fanatic. If you know me well, you know that my whole childhood consisted of Toy Story.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was that girl.
Yeah.
Toy Story bedding. I had every single Toy Story toy.
I was not a Toy Story girl.
I was a Toy Story girl. I wore cowboy boots every day of first grade because of Woody. Okay. Yeah.
I was not.
Toy Story Wii game.
I was Monster High girl. Brats.
I feel like this explains us today.
Yeah, it does.
Maybe we should okay, guys, stay tuned, because someday we will have a podcast episode about how our childhoods, what
correlate.
we did, about how us as children make sense to who we are today.
Yeah.
We will talk about that, because that's a good... Like, I was a Toy Story girl and you're a Monster High girl, and I feel like that just makes a lot of sense.
It does make a lot of sense. So.
Anyways. So like I said, we see this transition because Andy and his family, his neighbors, and other civilians in the Toy Story movies, as them being humans, are being placed alongside the completely personified toy characters, which obviously are not human.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is so well thought out.
No, it is. Okay.
So, to conclude the Pixar 3, we must talk about the main film, which represents the future part of the timeline, which is Monsters, Inc.
So, Monsters, Inc. is described in the Pixar theory as being the beginning of the monster takeover, or really the primary beginning of the takeover of non-human characters. But Monsters, Inc. is especially important to the Pixar theory because of Boo's connection to Brave.
Yeah.
It is speculated that Boo returns to the past as the witch in Brave, thus allowing the Pixar theory to become a full circle.
Yeah,
I love this.
Okay, yeah. This is why we're kind of jumping so forward.
Mm-hmm.
Is because Monsters, Inc. plays such a prominent role in this, because it said that Boo, I kind of don't know all the specifics, but when she goes through the door, like, she's time traveling when she goes through the door backwards.
Yes, because she was so obsessed with the idea of Sully and she wanted to...
Something with the magic. I don't know, girl.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, like, okay, this is what I heard, is that she, like, after Sully wasn't able to see her again, and obviously they were buddies, so she's like, girl, I want my man Sully.
You don't say that. Ew. Octavia didn't mean it like that.
I didn't mean it like that. But then, supposedly she found the magic, because that's what Toy Story and all of them were about, and so she was in that timeline. And so she got the magic, and then she went through the doors, because that's all she knows is that's how you get to the monsters, is through those doors. And so she went through the doors, and the witch in Brave uses the magic of going through doors to teleport places. And they say...
I also just feel like it makes sense because of the age progression.
Yes.
Because obviously in Brave, she's, like, older.
She's so old.
Oh, okay, I wasn't going for the jugular, but...
The jugular. they say that she's the one that places all the Easter eggs because she can't control where she time travels to.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Can we have a moment and just talk about different Easter eggs in Pixar movies? Like, how freaking,
I can't remember all of them.
I know there's one that, what movie is it? It's either, this is gonna sound so dumb, it's either Atlantis or The Little Mermaid because it takes place under the sea.
I don't even know what Atlantis is.
But, like, you've never seen Atlantis?
No.
Oh.
I haven't even seen Little Mermaid all the way. You know that.
You've never seen Atlantis?
No. I don't watch princess movies.
It's not really. So either in Atlantis, like I was saying, or The Little Mermaid because it takes place under the water, but I don't really remember which one it is. Mm-hmm. But Goofy and freaking Donald Duck are there.
Wait, what?
Like, as part of this big crowd. Like, hold on, I'll look it up.
They're in the movie.
Yes.
What the? Why?
Goofy and... Oh, it's The Little Mermaid.
That makes sense as Little Mermaid, not Atlantis.
Yeah, because it's, crap. Mickey, Goofy, Donald, and Kermit are in The Little Mermaid.
Kermit?
Yes! They're in the crowd!
No, because now you need to show me this picture.
I'll show you a picture.
That,
okay, my screen.
Wait, are they even... Did Pixar even make those?
Did Pixar make The Little Mermaid?
No, like... No. Mickey and...
No, that's just Disney. But, I mean, Pixar and Disney, like, we can group them together a little bit.
What?
They're literally there.
Yeah, why are they literally there?
And that's so funny because why are these little dogs and mice under the sea? That's hilarious.
Yeah.
What other ones? Elsa and Anna's parents are at... Or no, is it... Either Flynn and Rapunzel are in Frozen, or Elsa and Anna's parents are in Rapunzel. Or it might be both.
Okay, I hate Rapunzel. Unpopular opinion.
Bro, everybody loves that movie.
I know.
That's a hot take.
But I hate it.
You're gonna get flamed for that.
I am. No, it just... Okay, the beginning's good, but then we get to the end. Oh my god, cut off the hair. Go to the freaking tower. Oh my god, I'm so hurt. No, that's not my cup of tea. That's not what I want to see.
It's like you're just not a fairy tale girl.
I am a fairy tale girl because I love I love Jasmine, the princess, but I'm not a fairy tale girl for Tangled.
Okay. I think it's a good movie, but I'm not really into it. It's not my favorite.
And I haven't even... I need to watch princess movies. That's just the full gist. Because I only liked Jasmine when I was younger because she looked cool. And so I was like, okay, yeah.
I remember really... I mean, obviously I like The Little Mermaid. That's been my favorite. But I also really liked Mulan.
I didn't even know who that was.
You've never seen Mulan?
No! Emily!
Guys, I'm actually... Oh my god!
I told you I watched anything but princess movies, but like any of that stuff that you watch. We're basically opposites.
I can't believe you've never seen Mulan. I used to eat Mulan up.
No, I just thought I was a baddie girl with my Monster High dolls and my Bratz and Jasmine. I ate that stuff up. Mm-hmm. I was watching Total Drama.
Oh, I watched Total Drama Island!
Yeah, Total Drama is so good.
I love Total Drama Island. Anyways, guys, sorry guys. But, so yeah, there's that connection between...
Those are some Easter eggs.
Yeah, oh yeah. We discussed them.
No, but I love Boo and the Pixar theory because it just makes everything make sense.
Yeah, I feel like it makes sense.
Also, have you seen that The Bug's Life?
I've never seen A Bug's Life.
Nor have I,
or Bug's Life, or whatever
supposedly, it's called. I don't know. It looks so boring. But
I've just never seen it.
And Wall-E, you know that little boot with the plant in it?
Yes.
They say
it's the same tree from Bug's Life. Yeah, I don't really know about A Bug's Life though, so.
Neither do I. I just...
You think it's time to wrap this up?
We have a guest opinion.
Oh. Hold on, let me get my ducks in a row here.
Your ducks in a row. It's not wackadoodle time. Come on.
Okay, do you want to introduce our outside opinion?
Yeah, so today we have a Reddit user named Fancy Men of Cornwood.
Okay. I guess the men of Cornwood are getting fancy.
Yeah. So, they said, I don't like the Pixar theory. I dislike it to the point of hating it. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate the effort that went into making it overall. I think it's bad. Now, I'm a pretty big Pixar fan and could go into lengthy discussion trying to debunk the details of this theory, but I don't have the attention span for that. Half of the theory is pure conjecture concerning the events that take place in certain Pixar movies and how they supposedly fit together. At the very beginning of the theory, hundreds of years of events and development leading from the Brave to the modern day that are just provided as the backbone of this theory are just made upon the fly.
No, they aren't.
Boom, just pulled out of thin air. And this just goes on and on.
No, they're not just pulled out of thin air.
I know they're not. They're literally
actual conceptualization. It makes sense. This person needs to do some research. Like, John Negroni did.
John Negroni.
Negroni. Put some respect on the name.
I'm sorry. Okay.
We love you, John Negroni.
So, after listening to this podcast... Oh, Pixar Theory is Thumpintheories verified, by the way.
Definitely.
After listening to this podcast, I hope that you can come up with your own conclusion to the theories and share more that come to mind.
Today we went over Mr. Negroni's Pixar theory, which started with the film Brave, in which he deems to be sort of the origin of all Pixar films. From there we discussed the connections between some of the most prominent Pixar films and explained which timelines they represented, including the films which they represent in the early 20th century and modern day, as well as those which are meant to represent the future. With this being said, we hope that the next time you watch Pixar, or a Pixar movie, you look for little Easter eggs and think of how that movie can connect to others. Thank you all for listening to
Thumpintheories.